This is where you stand before the Himalayas, rising like a colossal wall that cuts you off from the rest of the world. In the midst of these impossible terrains, you watch glaciers slowly carving out ancient legends right before your eyes. You are stepping into a land where 1.44 billion souls weave a vibrant symphony, sweeping you into its rhythm. Look down, and you'll see sacred rivers carrying countless prayers softly flowing across the land. Welcome to Unseen India, a journey where you will uncover the most extraordinary hidden destinations. At Khardung, the first thing that scares you is not the number on the map, but the feeling that your lungs no longer have enough air. This pass sits at more than 5,300 meters in the Himalayas, where every stretch of road can challenge both vehicle and body. Tires move across icy patches, while steep drops fall away beside the road, making the scene both majestic and tense, like a survival sequence. The thin air slows everything down, from footsteps and breathing to the way someone tries to keep balance in the cold wind. The breathless air, cold wind cutting across the road, and the narrow line of pavement between snowy mountains make this place feel like a real survival challenge. Khardung's power is not only its altitude, but the direct confrontation between the desire to cross mountains and the limits of the human body. Small vehicles moving between massive cliffs make the scale difference between people and the Himalayas feel overwhelming. If you visit, move slowly, stay hydrated, keep warm, avoid heavy exertion, and watch for signs of altitude sickness. Do not stay too long, just to satisfy curiosity, because at this elevation, your body must come before every plan. Khardung closes like an icy reminder. Some roads do not simply take you across mountains. They force you to face every breath inside your own chest. A high-altitude desert already sounds unusual, but Nubra Valley feels even stranger because it sits among snow, stone, and Himalayan isolation. This valley does not have the softness of an easy countryside. It feels like a place that has learned to survive extreme weather. Lonely stone houses stand in a wide, cold, dry landscape, as if they are used to being surrounded by snowstorms. What makes Nubra special is the contrast between cold sand, high mountains, and small patches of green near the water. A single house or a small group of people nearly disappears inside the vast valley, making the isolation feel even more vivid. Nubra is not loud or showy. It leaves an impression through distance, isolation, hard access, and a coldness that seems to reach inward. Nubra also shows how humans can live in conditions that seem almost unsuitable for daily life. If you visit, bring warm layers, sunglasses, water, and do not underestimate the dry cold of a high desert. Trips into the valley should include extra time, because mountain roads and weather can change quickly. Nubra Valley does not end with a loud visual shock, but with a slow, deep feeling. The more isolated a place becomes, the more clearly life appears as an act of endurance. The Ganges in Rishikesh does not feel like a slow urban river. Near its upper reaches, it is cold, powerful, and both sacred and dangerous. The water pours down from the mountains, blue-green, icy, and fast, making anyone standing near the bank feel the weight of the Himalayas behind it. Along the river's edge, ascetics have built small shelters close to the fierce current. choosing that harshness as part of their spiritual life. What makes Rishikesh special is that nature and spirituality do not feel separate here. Water, rock, wind, and ritual move in one rhythm. Fast water close to the bank, small shelters, stone steps, and people sitting quietly by the river create a scene that feels both fierce and peaceful. The strongest contrast in Rishikesh is between the calm image of a sacred place and the very real force of the water rushing beside it. This is not a place to treat the river only as a symbol. It shows that symbol moving, cold, and full of energy. If you visit, be careful near the water's edge. Avoid slippery rocks and never enter strong currents on your own. Stay in permitted areas or go with local guidance, especially if you want to get close to the river. Rishikesh ends with a feeling that is hard to separate. You are standing before sacred water, but every impact against the rocks reminds you that sacredness can also be fierce. During the Kumbh Mela at Triveni Sangam, a riverside landscape can turn into a massive city almost overnight. This is where 3 sacred rivers meet in Hindu belief, and during the great festival, the number of people arriving can be hard to grasp through numbers alone. Millions of tents, temporary paths, ritual areas, kitchens, loudspeakers, and pilgrims create one of the largest gatherings in human history. What makes Triveni Sangam overwhelming is not only the crowd size, but the feeling of an entire temporary society moving around faith. Each person comes for a different reason: prayer, ritual bathing, pilgrimage, blessing, or simply to be part of something larger than individual life. From the endless tent city to walking crowds, and the moment a hand touches the water, each layer reveals the weight of collective faith. The crowd here is not only chaos, because inside it are organization, ritual, and a cultural order of its own. If you visit during a major festival, plan carefully, set meeting points, carry water, keep your phone charged, and stay with a group or local guide. In crowds this large, personal safety matters more than curiosity. Triveni Sangam closes with the feeling that is both overwhelming and solemn. In a human sea large enough to lose your sense of direction, each individual still bends toward the water with a private faith of their own. Some places cannot be narrated in an ordinary travel voice, and Manikarnika Ghat is one of them. It is one of the most famous open-air cremation grounds along the Ganges, where fires have burned almost continuously through generations. Standing before Manikarnika, people are not facing a scene meant for curiosity, but a raw truth about life, death, and faith. Smoke, wood, river, ritual, and the silence of grieving families create an atmosphere that is heavy but not chaotic. The most important thing when presenting this place is absolute respect, because this is not a spectacle, but a real place of farewell. The atmosphere here is slow, heavy, and deep, centered on spiritual meaning and the idea of liberation connected to the sacred river. Every private moment here deserves respect, especially bodies, mourning families, and farewell rituals. Rising smoke, the river behind it, and the silence of ritual are already enough to give this place its depth. Manikarnika does not need false drama, because the quiet continuity of ritual is already powerful. This place closes with a truth that is difficult to put into words. Some steps do not lead us to scenery. but to the one reality every culture must learn to face. The Taj Mahal may be one of the most beautiful symbols in the world, but from the Yamuna River behind it, you see a very different story. In front of you is a luminous white marble masterpiece. Behind the image is the harsher reality of a river that can appear dry, polluted, and exposed in places depending on the season. That contrast makes the scene more powerful than simple praise ever could. On one side is a monument built as a statement of love and power. On the other is a river that once shaped the landscape, but now faces serious environmental pressure. From the less familiar riverside angle, the Taj Mahal shows not only its famous perfection, but also the space behind it. The scene moves from marble details, domes, and the imagined perfect reflection to dry ground, quiet riverbanks, and truths that rarely appear on postcards. This does not diminish the Taj Mahal's beauty. It makes the place feel more honest and layered. If you visit the area, respect access rules, avoid unsafe riverbank zones, and go early for softer light. Do not only chase perfection, because sometimes the imperfect side reveals the deeper truth. Taj Mahal in Yamuna closes with a memorable paradox. Some masterpieces become even more powerful when we are willing to see the shadow behind their beauty. In Varanasi, the stone steps do not simply lead down to the river. They lead people into a thin boundary between daily life and the spiritual world. The Varanasi Ghats stretch along the Ganges, where people bathe, pray, wash clothes, light incense, and sit quietly by the water from morning to night. The smell of incense, smoke, bells, chanting, and the colors of clothing create a deeply layered atmosphere. What makes this place special is that daily life does not stand apart from ritual. It happens right beside symbols of transition and faith. Varanasi is not something strange to observe with curiosity. It is a city where time, religion, and daily life flow together along the same riverbank. At sunrise, the stone steps appear in soft light, while the river begins to reflect a pale, ancient gold. From hands lighting incense and feet stepping into water to the long line of ghats along the river, every detail gives the place its own depth. If you visit, respect rituals, avoid invading other people's privacy, and do not turn a sacred space into a noisy backdrop. A helpful tip is to go with a local guide if you want to understand the meaning of each area properly. Varanasi Ghats closes with silence. Some places do not need to be fully explained, because simply standing beside the river can make you feel you are witnessing a rhythm of life that has flowed for thousands of years. In Mawsynram, rain is not just bad weather passing through, it is the rhythm of life, the background sound, and almost part of the town's personality. This place is known for record-breaking rainfall, among the most intense on Earth, where downpours can roar so continuously that they seem to fill your ears. Soaked skin, muddy ground, roofs drumming under rain, and visibility blurred by sheets of water make Mawsynram feel heavy, cold, and intensely real. What makes the town special is that people here do not simply wait for the rain to pass in the usual sense, because rain is the condition of life they have learned to adapt to. Architecture, paths, routines, and work all negotiate with water. Mawsynram is not just the rainiest place. It makes you feel rain through the body, cold, heavy, persistent, and almost without pause. Rooftops shaking under rain, water running through roads, people in rain gear, and mist around the hills give the town more depth than a simple introduction. If you visit, bring serious rain protection, waterproof bags for equipment, shoes with strong grip, and the mindset that you will get wet. Do not treat rain as something that ruins the trip, because in Mawsynram, rain is the main character. This town closes with a very distinct image, a place where the sky does not merely fall to the ground, but teaches people how to live inside the sound of water that never stops. Leh is not just a mountain town, it feels like a stone maze where every steep lane carries you a little closer to the Himalayan sky. Narrow alleys, old earthen walls, and rising stone steps make walking here feel ancient and physically demanding because of the altitude. Above the town, 1,000-year-old Buddhist monasteries cling to the mountain slopes like white and brown honeycombs hanging from rock. That image is what makes Leh so compelling. Daily life below, with layers of spiritual architecture quietly watching over the valley from above. From small alleys rising toward the monasteries, Leh feels like a slow journey from town rhythm into high silence. Prayer flags, wind and dry mountain backdrops create a distinct Ladakh atmosphere. Leh's appeal is not glamour, but the feeling that everything here has learned to live slowly in a harsh environment. If you visit, give your body time to adjust to the altitude before climbing too many steps, because fatigue can arrive faster than expected. Early morning or late afternoon is better for softer light and less harsh heat in the lanes. Leh town and monasteries closes with a quiet image, a stone town beneath the mountains, while ancient monasteries above seem to hold the slow breath of the Himalayas. Standing before Nohkalikai Falls, you are not just watching water fall, you are watching a massive force drop straight from a cliff about 340 meters high. The plunge is powerful, long and almost vertical, leaving the base wrapped in white mist and thunderous sound. This place has a fierce kind of beauty, because it does not only impress, it makes the body feel physically small in front of the depth below. When clouds and mist move across the cliff, the waterfall appears and disappears, creating the feeling of a natural curtain opening and closing. Nohkalikai's greatest pull is constant movement. The falling water keeps dragging your eyes toward the depth below. The sound matters as much as the view here, because the roar of the falls can create more tension than any background music. The cliff, the falling water, and the mist below appear together like a massive natural wall. Visitors should avoid getting close to cliff edges, especially in rain or on slippery rock, because one careless step can be extremely dangerous. This is a place best experienced with alertness, not through risky behavior for a different angle. Nohkalikai Falls closes with the feeling of a long fall in your imagination. Your eyes follow the water to the bottom, but the sound keeps echoing in your mind long after you leave. In the heat of the Thar Desert, where temperatures can reach 50 degrees Celsius, Jaisalmer Fort rises like a golden city from the sand. The entire fortress is built from yellow sandstone, so when sunlight hits it, the walls seem to glow against the dry sky. What makes Jaisalmer different is that it is not just a silent monument. People still live inside the fort, alongside temples, shops, narrow lanes, and daily routines. Passing through its gates feels like entering a desert maze, where every wall carries traces of merchants, warriors, and ancient caravan routes. The sandstone changes color with the light, pale gold in the morning, blazing bright at noon, and deep amber at sunset. The fort's appeal comes from both its massive defensive scale and the feeling of real life still unfolding inside a golden city. But that beauty comes with harsh climate conditions, and the experience can be difficult if you visit at the wrong time. If you go, avoid midday heat, bring water, wear a hat and sunglasses, and move slowly through the narrow lanes. Do not film only the massive walls. Wooden doors, stone balconies, and human shadows in the alleys are what make the city feel alive. Jaisalmer Fort closes with a burning image, a golden fortress still standing in the desert, as if the sand built a city to resist the sun itself. A water well can look decorative at first, but Panna Kund reminds you that people once had to descend into the earth to reach life itself. This stepwell is made of hundreds of symmetrical, steep, repeating steps, forming a geometric stone maze. From above, it looks almost perfectly beautiful, but once you imagine walking down into it under the heat, the enclosed intensity of the space becomes clear. This is not only a place for a striking, symmetrical photo, it is evidence of how people solved the problem of water in a dry environment. The deeper you go, the more separated from the surface you feel, as if entering an ancient void designed to preserve every drop of groundwater. The visual rhythm of the symmetrical stairs catches the eye first, but the longer you look, the more clearly the survival purpose behind the beauty appears. The weight of this place comes from the contrast between architectural elegance and the harsh need for water. If you visit, follow local rules, do not enter restricted areas, and be careful on steep stone steps, especially in heat or crowds. Panna Kund should not be treated only as a beautiful background, because its real value lies in the ancient intelligence behind every step. It closes with a strange realization. The more you admire the perfect lines, the more you understand they were not created first for beauty, but to bring people closer to water. Not every bridge is built from concrete or steel. In Meghalaya, some bridges are still alive. The living root bridges are made from banyan roots that are guided, woven, and nurtured across generations until they become strong enough for people to cross. What makes them extraordinary is that the older they get, the stronger they become, because the roots keep growing instead of decaying like dead material. In a region of heavy rainfall and frequent flash floods, these root bridges are not only beautiful, but also a brilliant survival solution created by local communities. When you step onto one, you are not walking on a structure separated from nature. You are walking on part of a living forest. Intertwined roots stretching across a stream show a different way of living, people cooperating with trees instead of fighting them. A bridge like this does not appear in a few months. It requires patience over decades, sometimes centuries. If you visit, wear shoes with good grip, avoid rushing after rain, and never break, pull, or step hard on young roots. This is a place that should be experienced with respect, because every root is part of a structure still growing. The living root bridges close with a beautiful idea. Some bridges do not connect two sides through machinery, but through the patience of generations and a forest that keeps growing with them. A suspension bridge does not need to collapse to feel frightening. Sometimes it only has to move beneath your feet. Lakshman Jhula crosses the Ganges with a long, narrow iron structure where every step can carry the feeling of wind, height, and vibration. Below it, the river moves fast and does not wait for anyone, making the crossing both fascinating and tense. When the wind grows stronger, the swaying becomes more noticeable, and walkers may instinctively grip the railing. From the middle of the bridge, people stretch ahead. Open space falls away on both sides, and moving water below can make your heart beat faster. Feet on the deck, metallic sounds, wind, and the river underneath make the experience feel physical and immediate. This should not be told only as a famous bridge, but as a physical experience. You do not just see height, you feel it with every step. If you visit, walk slowly. Avoid pushing through crowds. Do not stop too long in the middle, and be especially careful in strong wind or heavy foot traffic. The bridge may look beautiful, but safety should always come before the urge to test yourself. Lakshman Jhula closes with a very real question. When the bridge starts moving beneath you, are you still sightseeing, or are you already listening to your survival instincts? North Sentinel does not invite exploration. It forces every boat to understand that some boundaries are not meant to be crossed. This island belongs to the Andaman Islands and is considered one of the most isolated places on Earth. The Sentinelese people who live there have had almost no contact with the outside world, and they have repeatedly made it clear that they will defend their territory by any means, including arrows. What makes North Sentinel extraordinary is not simply tropical beauty, but the absolute taboo surrounding it. In an age when almost every place can be mapped, filmed, and shared, this island still holds the right not to be entered. North Sentinel must be viewed with respect, not with reckless curiosity about trying to reach it, because illegal contact can endanger both outsiders and the indigenous community. The most important ideas here are survival, cultural sovereignty, and why distance is necessary. Any image of this place should remain limited to maps, distant perspectives, or permitted materials, and should never encourage approaching the island. This is one of the clearest cases where the best travel advice is not to go. North Sentinel Island closes with a cold but necessary principle. Not every place in the world exists for us to step into. Some places must be protected by the distance we choose to respect.